So Skirmish Season 8 is officially a wrap. We lost some heroes, some favorites. Yes, we did. But let's be honest, it probably could have been worse. All the points are in, and we now have a good idea what the meta will look like for the next 8, that's right, 8 months. So today I'm recapping Skirmish Season 8, which was an interesting one to be sure, and looking forward to the next phase of Blitz. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my flesh and blood friends, and welcome back to Dice Commando and Go Again, a fabulous cast. That's right, doing our Skirmish Season 8, specifically for Blitz, recap. Now that everything's done, all the points have settled, probably most of the points. There's been a lot of asterisks this season with the way it works. Let's just say it as an aside, I think probably in the future they won't do Monday recaps, they'll probably do Tuesday recaps, would probably be the smarter way to do it. But all of that said, we've had a very interesting Blitz season. As I mentioned in the intro, 4 heroes gone. Heroes have been here for a while. We're all sitting on the precipice. But now we have a new leader, which is Briar, and all of those things. Now, for those of you who care, which I grant, probably very few of you, yet the ones I care for, so I'm throwing it out there. I am home, baby. You will notice, obviously not the same backdrop because I'm not in the studio, because that's a lot of activation energy to get that all set up, and we're just not there yet, and we gotta get everything together now, don't we, to get this breaking news, hashtag breaking news, whatever the kids are using these days, out. All right, so let's talk Skirmish Season 8, okay? So we've done the LL projections all season. We're up to speed. Briar was the big winner this last weekend. Actually put, y'all saw, well, many of you probably saw, I'll link it there, Pachow, my recap of the Gongai Skirmish, which was pretty crazy, right? We had 5 Briars show up, 100% conversion. It's 27 players, okay? So this is not like something. 27 players, 100% conversion rate of the 5 Briars that showed up made it to the top 8. Briar won. All right. And Sedlashek, by the way, thank you. I apologize for saying your name incorrectly. So Sedlashek took it down. Shout out over there. All right. So now let's move into the season recap, which is why you're all here. All right. So what I have up right now are the points for the season. Now, there's a couple things here that, as a person, as an engineer who likes looking at data and making conclusions, really bothers me. But this is a pet peeve of mine, right? It's just the way it is. But it's like a good data, bad conclusion type thing, right? So Flesh and Blood today, a couple hours ago on their Facebook page, was, here are the top 3 winners of the season. And they're technically correct, right? The top 3 winners of the season, you see them right here. I've got them across the screen. Kassai, Aria, and Briar. They were the top 3 winners of the season. That said, there's a problem with that under the new way where we rotate heroes out. There's a problem statement with that in that Chane took down 20 some odd, I think it was like 25%, maybe 26%, whatever it was, right? I'm misquoting something, I get it. But he took down all of that with everybody legal. And then Chane went away. And then Kassai and Kano got their points. And they went away. And then Aria got their points. And then she went away. And then Briar got her points. So I think it's very disingenuous for someone to conclude, I mean, to be clear, they're not technically wrong. The big winners of Skirmish Season 8 were, in fact, Kassai, Aria, and Briar. Right here. You see it. But with an asterisk, with a triple asterisk to the asterisk, right? So that said, wrap up done. I mean, y'all can read. I'm not bringing you anything you don't know at this point because it's Wednesday morning, and thank you for tuning in Wednesday morning. What I want to do now is I want to talk the next 8 months. That's right, because we are not expecting another Blitz season. All right, so I say Blitz Skirmish season. All right, we're not expecting another influx of points, that's the point of this, until August. All right, James said that in his cast with Sloop Dupe, Go check that out, by the way. I'll pachow it too. Why not? I'm overusing that, sorry. But I'll link that video. All right, he said it was August. So let's realistically think about what the meta looks like. I'll be honest, I'm not optimistic on it because of 2 reasons. Briar and fatigue. Those are my 2 reasons. Those are what I think will lead the meta because one's a counter to the other. Okay. Briar is disgusting in what she can do. I actually, going into week 4, I actually said that, right? I'll prove it. It's like, I'd been running a lot of Briar and she was disgusting. I knew she was going to do very well into the last week. I even think she overperformed where I thought she was going to, but she did very well. And it's not Briar. Let's be fair. I will be fair to the comments I'm making. I don't think Briar is bad. I think Rosetta is disgusting, but Briar is a vehicle for Rosetta, right? And actually doubles the value of Rosetta. I mean, not Rosetta itself, but in what Briar does with the NA, attack, non-attack, right? That's what I'm saying. She maximizes the value of that within Rosetta. So the 2 go hand in hand, right? Now, where I'm going with this is I think it's going to be a rough 8 months of taking Rosetta to the face for folks. So I have a huge amount of faith in LSS to fix that because they know that they're not like, this is a good example of where they can't rely on, in my opinion again, they can't rely on the Living Legends system to fix the problem. So I think they're going to have to do something. And it's going to be very telling in terms of, could potentially be very telling in terms of fundamental mechanics as to what they do with Rosetta. Because for 8 months, we're going to have the same Blitz meta for the most part. Because no one's close enough. Again, look at the points, right? Look at the points. No one's going to really be in a situation where they can like win a battle hardened and go away. So I think Blitz is going to force LSS action because people are going to get tired of losing to Briar. And the counter to that is fatigue. I just don't, I'll be blunt, I don't see a better, I mean, if you're trying to match Briar in raw damage output, maybe Dash, right? But I still think Briar's probably better than Dash because she can defend and then still do her thing and get go agains and Arcane. I think, the data's there. No pun intended with database Dash. The data is there that Briar's better than Dash, right? So I don't think anyone can match her raw damage output. And then you have to assume, where does the meta go over 8 months? That's a lot of time for the smart kids to innovate. And I think we end up in fatigue, right? Because you look at someone like a Yogi, or even a Bravo, or just people who play a lot of blues, who can throw a blue to take 1 Arcane and then 2 Arcane, right? Because, you take a Rune Chant, you take Rosetta, you defend, you throw any attack, doesn't matter, to whittle them away. So I think it's going to be a long 8 months. And I think LSS is probably going to, not probably, I have faith in them. I think they're going to pull the trigger. There'll be some change. I don't know what that'll be. I don't know that they ban Rosetta. I mean, they haven't done it so far. But again, 8 months is a long time for relying on the LL system to make your thing go away. So we'll see. So moving into, kind of my next meta thoughts, who looks good for fatigue? I'm going to make a hot call. I think it's Boltyn. Okay. The reason I think it's Boltyn is because Decimator Great Axe, and he just has access to a few extra tools, like, courage of, gallantry, but the one that makes courage, not courage. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. The banneret that poops out the courage token. That's what I'm saying, right? That one is good with Soul Bond, and then you obviously have Soul Shield. So I think like Boltyn Fatigue's actually not horribly positioned. You obviously have the Yoji, starts with 2 extra health. You play like a life gain Yoji, it's done its thing. to some points, which actually will come up in another video that I will shoot. It hasn't been shot yet, but will come later. I'll chow it later, maybe, if I remember. We're talking Brevant. Like, Brevant's actually done things, which to me implies that fatigue's like a legit thing. Okay. I mean, if a hero that there's no reason to play other than the other ones can do well, it implies to me that that's legit. So anyway, that's my takeaway from this whole little rant is we've seen the data. Y'all can do math. Not going to read it out to you. Briar's good. Dash is still good, but Dash is really susceptible to fatigue, and now you get to my point. So anyway, that's going to be it for me today. Let me know if you disagree. Many of you, I mean, fair enough. You can if you want, but you know, if you really think about what makes Briar sing, what makes Briar sing is playing non-attacks and attacks, which in of itself means in order to do what she wants to do, she has to play at least 2 cards and pitch 1. Okay, now pitch cards are non-permanent, but the other 2 cards are. And if you can weather the storm, so to speak, I think you win. So I think it's going to be a long, and I think it's going to be a long 8 months, and I think the long in that 8 months is perhaps very indicative of a fatigue meta, which is, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But it brings hearkenings to, you know, the cool part about Blitz is you're done in 10, 12 minutes. And it brings me back to early February, March of this year when Oldhim was all the rage. And everybody else was done in 8 minutes. But then there was one game that went 40 minutes. And we all had to sit there and weather the storm. Weather the ice storm, so to speak. So anyway, we'll see what it is. Again, let me know below why you hate me for saying what I did. But I think that's going to be the next 8 months is I love Blitz. Actually, I'm not quite done. I know I just did the exit, but I love Blitz, but I think the next 8 months is going to be rough unless some change is made. But we'll see. We will see. We know that, again, LSS demonstrated they will make changes for us. So it might be a rough couple of months and then not the whole thing. We'll see. Anyway, folks, let me know what you're thinking below. Why I'm wrong. Nothing else. Go Commando.